Welcome to another episode on our channel. So I got an item off of eBay, and the person said that they had purchased this a while back from Sideshow, and they always, when they get their figures, they ask Sideshow to double box them. So they pay a little additional to have it double boxed. But what's interesting to me is when I opened the box, this side was against one side of the box, and this side was against the other side of the box. Then there was wrapping here and wrapping on top. So there was no wrapping underneath it, and on two sides of the box, there was no wrapping. So that's kind of confusing. If you're going to pay extra, I just would hope that whoever is selling this would like Sideshow would take the time to wrap all four sides, the bottom as well as the top. It doesn't make any sense to do it any other way. Because if you get a really bad ding where this box is meeting box, just because it's double box is not going to protect it. That's my 2 cents worth anyways. So it's never been opened, and that's evident in terms of, I don't see 2 pieces of tape here. It's just one. So, I usually open it from the bottom. Almost broke my rule. There we go. There. There we go. Oh, that always sounds painful when we open a box for the first time. So this is Bo-Katan. So let's see what we have. Mandalorian stuff. Yeah. Well, I think it did survive despite how it was packed. Looks good from what I can see. Beautiful artwork. Again, I love this. For whatever reason, with Mandalorian, they've been doing this. And I just love this edition here. So if you're going to do an art box and charge us for it, versus give us an art box that has no value, that's the way to do it. Very nice. And then of course there's even more artwork here on the inside of the box. And of course, usually that just falls down. And there's the figures. I think I'll do it this way. That's just the bottom of the box. Huh. Some extra cushioning, I guess. Turn around. This is the part where I always wonder if something is going to go flying. So far, so good. All right. And it indeed looks to be in pristine condition. There's the helmet. And here is the head. Of course, there is no way I'm going to pose it with the helmet on. It's going to have to be with the head on. So the head looks really nice. Yeah. So we'll pause and I will carefully take things apart, get things set up so you can see what's in this box. So we will be right back. I've been wanting Bo-Katan for some time, and she really does look good. There's some really great things about this figure. Her head sculpt, spot on for the actress who plays her. This is Bo-Katan. Her outfit is smart looking. It is movie accurate. Her helmet, which is different from most of the other helmets, is again spot on. She has some really neat handgun blasters. She's got 2 holsters. She's got a lot of pouches, a lot of neat things. The stand, well, the first thing I noticed is that this was not on, the nameplate was not on. It had a sticky thing, so you had to peel it off and stick it on here. You could put this thing in the back or you could put it in the front, but let me turn it to the side for a second so you can see something. This is the piece that this thing goes into, it screws in, and then you've got this piece that holds the figure. It juts out some distance from this thing. And what you'll notice is that her feet hang over the stand. So if you get her as straight as you possibly can, her feet are going to hang over. So even though you could put this in front of the stand, take this piece out and put it here instead, you could put this in front of the stand, her feet are going to provide a gap between the stand itself and this piece. So the best look for it is here. The engineering of this thing is just bizarre. The other bizarre thing to me are the thrusters for her rocket. When you put them in, because of where the stand is and how it holds her figure, they kind of jut out at an angle, if you can see it, not straight up and down. That's also bizarre. The other thing that's bizarre to me is the articulation. The outfit looks great. It's very tight fitting though. So I wanted to pose her with her holding her helmet like this, but I can't get that articulation to work. I can't use a hand I would like to use to make that work. She's got 7 hands, that's great, but some are useless because you can't really get her to pose in certain ways. So in order for her to even have the helmet other than on the ground or on the stand is to use a trigger finger hand and have her hold it. Yeah, so that's a little frustrating. I wanted her to hold it like that, but I can't get that articulation. I can't get that bend to take place. So another thing that was very frustrating is when I changed this hand out, I should know by now. Always use hot water, even with a new figure. Don't count on anything. Always use hot water when you're taking a hand off. Because when I took the hand off to put on a different hand, because it wasn't working with the hand that was on there, part of the wrist peg came off and stuck in the hand. So I had to put that in hot water to get that part of the wrist peg out. Then, once I got it out, which I was able to do, I had to put the wrist peg that was stuck at the end of the arm into hot water so I could move it so I could get the other piece of the wrist peg back on. So I got it, finally got it on. Got it to move, got it on. then I was able to put in the trigger finger hand, get her to hold the helmet, and I was happy. The figure has a dagger, which is kind of cool. It's very small, it's very lightweight, and it goes on at the end of the gauntlet. But the only way to get it on is to take the little piece at the end of the gauntlet off. And the only way I could get it off is with an X-Acto knife. I had to shimmy it in, pull it up, and get it out. It's just a tiny piece. Then you can put the dagger on top over the hand, sort of like Assassin's Creed. Or maybe the knives come out at the bottom of the hand. I can't remember which, but then you can put it on. But my fear is losing this. My fear is also losing that piece. So this is going to stay in the box. This dagger is going to stay in the box, and that piece is going to stay in there. Now, I'm tempted to use the grappling wire here that's shooting out, aiming at something, because it just kind of looks cool. The comm link, though, has no pouch to put it in. So the only way to use it is for her to hold it, from what I can tell. And it's very tiny. And in this household, no way. It's going to go back into the box. So those two pieces I can't use. I'm not going to use these other hands. I'm not going to put the thrusters in because it looks funny, number one. And the other thing is, if I have thrusters in, I want her levitated. Now, here's the problem for me with that. If she's levitated, she's going to have her helmet on. It doesn't make any other sense for her to be flying around with just her head showing. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm not tempted to use rocket thrusters at all. Don't know if I'll use this even, to be honest. Probably just keep it simple and leave her like this. But she is movie accurate. She looks great. I have to say that. The head sculpt, right on target. So if you can live with the imperfections, you're good to go. So what we'll do is we'll get her on a turn tray so you can see her from different directions. The one thing I forgot to tell you folks is that when I straighten her arm out in this position, it was a little struggle, and this shoulder piece, metal light shoulder piece, fell off. And it's attached via Velcro to the clothing, to the inside of the shoulder piece. But at this position, the roundedness of the shoulder piece, the Velcro pieces don't touch. So I literally had to cut some Velcro that I had. I put a piece on the clothing, attached to the Velcro on the clothing, and I attached a piece to the Velcro on this shoulder piece. And now it's in place, and it's staying in place. So that was bizarre. But I guess there are some positions where some pieces might fall off. I still love the piece, though. I love the figure. Even with all the imperfections. So we'll pause now and get some tighter close-ups from here on up. So here she is, and you can see the helmet is Bo-Katan's helmet. It's movie accurate. The grappling thing is coming around. I have to be careful I don't get hit by it. But here's the rocket. It looks really nice. I just can't put thrusters in them. And I wouldn't want her flying anyway, because again, she'd have to have her helmet on. And the whole point is to have her head sculpt on. So Here she stays, level with the ground. But I think when we get a close-up of her facial features, you'll see Hot Toys does what it always does. They create a wonderful head sculpt. So we will be right back and get a tight close-up of her face. So here she is, and again, the facial features are immaculate. She's looking great. And she's color coordinated. Absolutely perfect. There you go. So here's one last look at Bo-Katan. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.